Hello, this is Mandy with Heavenly Bath Treats. Today we are not making soap, but we are going to make shampoo bars. I love shampoo bars. They are convenient for travel. They are low on packaging. They're gentle on the hair and they last a long time. These are new products to my store. My first batches were Kentish Rain and Rosemary and Mint. So, as you'll see as I make this recipe that there are a few ingredients that have long scientific sounding names, but the good news is that they are all derived, most of them are derived from coconut. They're super gentle. You can even use this on your children. And I have colored hair and I have not noticed it stripping my color or discoloring my color. So at the end I will describe how we use a shampoo bar, but right now we're going to get started making a new batch. I have everything all pre-measured, but I'll describe what's in each of these containers and the process with which I do it. This is derived from a recipe that I purchased, so I won't be giving details about the exact amounts and so forth. So to get started, we have weighed out, this is CSI noodles, which are these little noodly things, and then there's also Slsa. Both of these are derived from coconut, and they will help make that thick, foamy shampoo lather. So I've got that all measured out. I'm going to set that aside. And then I have weighed out in this container some oil. Today I've chosen to use argan oil for the shampoo, which is super good for your hair. I've even rubbed some in my cuticles when I was measuring this out. And we also have some cetearyl alcohol and BTMS 25. Those two ingredients will help with emulsifying and making a cohesive mixture. I also put my mic in here. I got a little sloppy. Today we're doing apricot freesia, so I decided to go with a little bit of koi from Mad Mica. So the first step is to microwave this for about 30 seconds. It'll melt the cetearyl alcohol and the BTMS, and just until it's clear. I don't want to overdo it and heat up the oil too much. So I'll be right back. Alright, it ended up taking more than a minute to melt this down, and as you see it's already starting to thicken up, but I can always pop it in the microwave if I need it a little more liquidy than this. For the next part, another good way to do this would be with a double broiler. That way you can be super gentle with those oils and make sure they're not overheated. Alright, let me describe what's in this container. This container has cocoa beta, excuse me if I'm pronouncing that wrong. That ingredient will also help with a nice foamy lather. I have hydrolyzed silk protein and panthenol in here. Both of those will help condition and nourish the hair. Okay, so the next part, we are going to add the noodles, the SDI noodles and the Slsa into this that I had just microwaved. So this is going to be pretty powdery and clumpy here for a minute. But we will mix this in as best we can. And here in a minute I'm going to switch over to my hands. Right now it doesn't look very, oh look at that. That's a big, and the SDI noodles, super big. It was almost heart-shaped. Alright, so next we will add the liquidy ones that I just described. Making sure I get everything in there. I mentioned that you can use these with your kids. My 9-year-old loves these. I'm not sure why, maybe because it's different, but he loves to use it. It doesn't take much, it really doesn't, but one swipe on his hair and it's enough. So, alright, let's switch over to the hands now. Giving it a nice squish to make sure that it gets all incorporated. We still will heat this portion up here in a minute, but I want to make sure that I've given it plenty of a good mix. It should start to look like a dough at this point. All right. Next step is to microwave this. I'm going to microwave it in bursts of about 30 seconds, stirring in between each one. The goal is to have it liquidy and a little bit bubbly. I'm going to go do that, and I'll see you in a sec. I think that color is going to be nice. All right, we've got this all microwaved. It looks about like this now. I can always heat it up more if I need it to be more liquidy when I mold, which I will show you how to do here in just a second. So now I'm going to make sure that this is not too hot because I'm going to add my my fragrance oil, and if it's too hot it will just flash and boil away all my fragrance. So it is a little hot. I'm going to sit here and stir it a minute, let it cool down so that I can add my fragrance oil and it stay and not evaporate. While I'm letting this cool, I will show you the mold that I'm going to use. This is a rose mold that I believe I got off of Amazon. You can use this type mold, and the only reason I'm still using this mold, I ordered a mold to make more of a tablet shape or a shower, like a shower tab, steamer shape. It's a 3-piece mold, kind of like what you would use in a bath bomb press. I ordered it and it was shipped to me, but it got hung up with the postal service somewhere in Florida. It is starting to move again, so I am excited to get that and try that for a different shape. But for now, I will use the method of molding that uses these kind of floppy silicone molds. Yeah, so let's making sure everything is super mixed up good. I want to see how hot we're getting here. Okay, we've cooled down fast. We're good to add our fragrance oil. This is the fragrance oil that I have. Like I said, it's apricot freesia, and I have this one from Crafter's Choice. So it smells super good, very spring-like. I think it would make a good smell for shampoo. I sure wouldn't mind if my hair smelled like this. Scrape all of that yummy scent out. Mix well. And we have one more ingredient to add before we mold. And I'm going to add a preservative. Now I got a little sloppy with my mica and got some mica in here, but I am using Optithin, which is good for bath and body products that are going to be exposed to water to discourage any mold or rotting. You know what I mean. So Optithin in here and mix it in well. Now for this molding process, you want this dough to be fairly liquidy. So I'm going to carefully heat this up again so that it is the consistency that I want it. A key to making shampoo bars is that you want them to be pretty compact. You don't want these little noodles to be flaking off every time that you use a bar. So I am going to the microwave again and we will get started. All right, here we are, much more liquidy, hopefully not too hot. We want the argan oil and the fragrance oil to still have the properties that we want. Okay, so when molding in this, again, we want it to be very liquidy, pouring in, poking in to make sure there are no holes. And you want to overfill each one of these a little bit. And I find that after 2, I have to reheat again. So you can overfill these, kind of encourage it to go down in there. But I can always come back and cut off the excess to make a smooth, back. See, I'm already starting to get thick. I'm gonna be on the safe side and microwave this again. Because again, you want it to be very compact. Another thing that you can do is come back after this has firmed up a little bit and smooth the top with a craft stick. Ooh, I'm getting sloppy now. It cools off so quickly. So if I put it in and it's a little firm like this, I'm gonna have to make sure that I get it pressed in really, really well. This is a cute shape, but I am looking forward to my new mold coming in. Sorry, it's hard to talk and think at the same time and do the work. I have gotten into the bad habit lately of not completing my sentences, and it's gotten to the point where my kids will finish my sentences for me, and I can't be annoyed at them because I'm the one that's probably pretty annoying not finishing my sentences. So the recipe I'm making makes 4 bars, but I can always increase the batch, and if I want to make a bigger batch to sell more. After you let this sit, it doesn't take long to firm up, give it a couple hours, then we can unmold it. After that, we're going to want to let them sit for about 24 hours. Ooh, I played with it too soon. But yes, let it sit for about 24 hours, and then you can package them and sell them. So I will have mine on my site. I'm going to have the mint ones and I'm going to have the rosemary mint ones, as well as the Kentish Rain ones, which I think is perfect for spring, on my website, the Etsy website, later today. So by the time you see this video, those will be available, and probably these too. All right, again, I've overfilled them, and when they're done, I will come back with a knife and I will cut off the excess. Now, any of the excess that falls off, I can roll into a ball and then use as a sample for myself or my kids. The more I mess with it, the worse it gets. So I'm gonna let it cool a little bit, come back and press this down. Again, I can use my fingers or a craft stick and make that smoother. While I do this, I do want to describe how you use a shampoo bar, which is the first question I asked when I was introduced to these. It's very easy. You shampoo your hair, or no, duh. It's very easy. You wet your hair, get it nice and wet, and then you wet the bar, and you rub the wet bar on your hair, different sections of your hair, briefly, maybe a little bit underneath in the back. Then you set the bar down. That's all you need from the bar, and you can work that lather into your hair, into your scalp, and then you rinse well. It really doesn't take much, and it goes far. Make sure though that you put the shampoo bar in a dry place when you're done with it. Preferably take it out of the shower, let it dry somewhere else, but I forget. I know I would forget to bring the bar with me to the shower, so I leave it in the back of my shower where it doesn't get splashed on, and it seems to do just fine. All right, I will see you in a couple hours for the unmolding. Actually popped these in the freezer while I was cleaning up so they'd get nice and hard, and we could just kind of pop them out. There they go. I will keep all these crumbs. We don't want to waste anything. And like I said, if you can keep the crumbs and form them into a ball and use them as a sample for yourself. So for packaging, I will just use a little bit of shrink wrap and then a circle label, instructions, and oh, I was going to weigh these. Before, I can use a sharp knife and kind of cut off the extra to make it, to make it flat, nice and flat. Oop. wanted to weigh these and see about how much they would be. So I have about 2.2 ounces. They may, over the next 24 hours, lighten a little bit as some of the water evaporates from them. But that's about the perfect size for a bar. Well, thank you for joining me in this video. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I do have some exciting things coming up, some neat projects that you don't want to miss. Also consider following me on Instagram. I will often post some sneak peeks of upcoming products. So I will see you in the next video.